Welcome to Monk's Temple. Before your eyes even adjust to the light, before the first conscious thought of the day has even formed, there exists a sanctuary. It is not built of wood or stone, but of silence and space. It is the quiet chamber of your own awakening consciousness. In the ancient teachings of Buddhism, this threshold between sleep and wakefulness is considered more than a transition. It is a frontier of profound potential. It is the one moment in the entire day where you are truly free, free from the stories of yesterday, free from the projections of tomorrow. Here, in this soft, unclaimed dawn, you have the pure, untarnished opportunity to set the tone for your entire existence. For the next while, we will inhabit this sanctuary together. We will explore 5 foundational truths, drawn directly from the heart of Buddhist wisdom. These are not mere affirmations to be recited, but living principles to be embodied. They are keys, forged centuries ago, that still fit the lock on the door to a life of profound peace and resilient joy. But this journey requires no luggage. You need not bring your resume of achievements or your ledger of regrets. All that is asked is that you bring the gentle curiosity of your attention. So, wherever you are, let your body find a position of restful support. Allow your muscles to soften, as if you were a cloth doll gently settling into a comfortable chair. Notice the weight of your body being held by the earth, by the chair, by the floor beneath you. Let your breath flow in its own natural rhythm, neither pushing nor pulling. And when you feel a sense of settling, you may softly close your eyes, or simply lower your gaze to a neutral spot before you. We begin in the simplicity of being. Let us begin not with seeking, but with finding. From our earliest moments, we are gently, sometimes forcefully, taught to look outward for our sense of completeness. We are handed a map that points to external destinations. Success will make you whole, that relationship will complete you, this possession will define you. We spend our lives on pilgrimages to these distant lands, often arriving parched and weary, only to find the well there is dry. Buddhism identifies this endless outward search as the very engine of dukkha. That subtle, pervasive sense of dissatisfaction, of something perpetually missing. The Buddha's radical insight was a turning of the map upside down. He taught that the treasure you seek is not in a distant city. It is buried in the backyard of your own heart. You are not an empty cup waiting to be filled by the world, you are a fresh, natural spring. The waters of wisdom, compassion, strength, and peace are not poured in from outside, they are the native essence of your own being. Your practice is not one of acquisition, but of excavation, of clearing away the debris of doubt, the rocks of conditioning, to allow what is inherently present to flow freely. Let me offer you a new metaphor. Imagine you are a musician who has spent a lifetime playing a grand, complex pipe organ with thousands of keys and stops. You have mastered a few familiar, predictable tunes, but the instrument feels overwhelming, its full potential a mystery. One day, a wise teacher gently turns you around. Behind you, where you never thought to look, sits a simple, perfect flute, carved from a single piece of aged bamboo. This, the teacher says, has been yours all along. Its song is not complex, but it is pure, and it comes directly from your own breath. The endless seeking for the perfect chord on the massive organ was the distraction. The flute, simple, direct, and inherently yours, was the answer. Your inner completeness is that flute. The music of a meaningful life is not about mastering every external keyboard, it is about learning to breathe authentically into your own, singular instrument. This truth is the antidote to the haunting feeling of not enough. When you feel that knot of lack in your stomach, I am not successful enough, loved enough, secure enough, Buddhism invites you to see that feeling as a cloud passing over the sun. The sun of your inherent wholeness has not vanished, it is merely obscured. The cloud is made of thought, of comparison, of story. Your work is not to chase the sun across the sky, but to learn to sit still until the cloud, of its own nature, drifts on. I was in my mid-20s, adrift and full of angst, convinced my life lacked purpose and direction. I had traveled to a small hermitage in the mountains, hoping the serene environment would give me the clarity I lacked. For weeks, I pestered the old groundskeeper, a silent man named Leo, with my questions. How do I find my path? What is my purpose? What should I do? He would only smile and continue raking the gravel paths into perfect, swirling patterns. One afternoon, frustrated, I blurted out, "I feel so empty inside." He stopped raking, looked at me for a long moment, then pointed to a large, moss-covered stone beside the path. "See that stone?" he said. "Is it empty?" I said, "No, it's full of stone." He nodded. "Exactly. It is full of its own stoneness. You are full of your own you-ness. You are not a hollow log. You are a living tree. The problem is not emptiness. The problem is that you keep looking for apples on an oak. You already have acorns. And acorns are enough." It was a clumsy, beautiful metaphor that shattered my seeking. I was looking for a specific, flashy fruit, external validation, a grand purpose, and missing the profound, quiet potential of the seed I already was. My everything was not a future achievement, it was the raw material of my present consciousness. Your morning practice rooted in this truth is profoundly simple. Upon waking, before the mind begins its habitual inventory of what's missing, place a hand on your abdomen. Feel the gentle rise and fall. With each inhale, silently think, "I am already whole." With each exhale, think, "I release the search." You are not convincing yourself of a lie, you are aligning with a deeper reality that exists beneath the chatter of insecurity. You are remembering the flute behind you, the acorn within you. I once heard of a master painter who was renowned for his stunning landscapes. A rich merchant commissioned him to paint the most beautiful, perfect scene in the world. The painter agreed but asked for 3 years. After 3 years, the merchant returned. The painter presented a blank, pristine white canvas. The merchant was furious. "This is blank. Where is the painting?" The painter calmly replied, "Sir, look more closely. The beauty is not in the pigment I add. It is in the clarity of the space, the potential of the void. I have spent 3 years not adding, but subtracting my own ideas of beauty, my desire to impress you, my concepts of perfection. What is left is pure capacity. And in that capacity, you can see anything you need." At first, the merchant saw only arrogance. But later, in the quiet of his home, he hung the white canvas. In different lights, at different times of day, he began to see things, the memory of his daughter's smile, the peace of a distant mountain he once climbed, the ever-changing sky. He realized the painter had given him not an image, but a mirror for his own soul's landscape. Buddhism teaches us that our essential nature is like that prepared canvas, not empty in a barren sense, but empty of fixed, limiting concepts, and therefore full of infinite potential. Everything you need. The compassion, the wisdom, the courage, is not a painted-on figure, it is the quality of the canvas itself, waiting for the right light of your awareness to reveal it. To integrate this, consider a brief morning ritual. After your breathing acknowledgement, ask yourself, what quality do I anticipate needing today? Patience in a long meeting. Courage for a difficult conversation. Then, instead of pleading, please give me patience, affirm, I will remember that patience is already a thread in the fabric of my being. I will allow it to weave itself into my actions today. You shift from beggar to steward, from seeker to discoverer. If the idea of discovering a wellspring of completeness within yourself, rather than chasing after external streams, brings you a sense of relief, I invite you to subscribe to Monk's Temple. By subscribing, you create a gentle, daily reminder to return to this inner sanctuary, to tend to your own wellspring. It is a simple act that plants the seed of self-reliance in the garden of your routine. We have begun by coming home to ourselves. Now, let us explore how to fortify this home, so that the weather of the world cannot easily disturb its peace. Shall we continue? Having touched the truth of your innate wholeness, let us now explore the art of protecting that inner sanctuary. For if you have discovered a still pond within yourself, the next natural wisdom is to learn how to keep the stones of the world from rippling its surface. This brings us to our second principle, a fortress of the mind taught in every school of Buddhist practice. Imagine you are standing in the center of a vast, ancient, and perfectly round tower. The walls are made of a clear, diamond-like substance, transparent, yet impenetrable. From within, you can see the entire outside world, the bustling marketplaces of daily life, the storms of conflict, the unpredictable weather of other people's emotions, the lightning flashes of sudden bad news. You can see it all, hear it all, sense it all with perfect clarity. But here is the secret of the tower, nothing from outside can get in unless you open a door. The noise, the chaos, the insults, the delays, they press against the walls, but they cannot penetrate. Your peace resides in the center of this tower, and you alone hold the keys to its gates. This is not a teaching of indifference or disconnection. Buddhism is profoundly engaged with the world. This is a teaching about sovereignty. The Buddha diagnosed a fundamental misperception. We believe that external objects and events themselves are the cause of our suffering. He taught that it is our relationship to those events, our grasping, our aversion, our deluded storytelling, that is the actual cause. The traffic jam does not create stress, our resistance to being late, our story about inefficiency and wasted time, does. The critical comment does not create pain, our attachment to a certain self-image, our belief in the critic's authority, does. I will give you a new metaphor. Consider your mind to be a vast, silent movie theater screen. The projector of the world is constantly throwing images upon it, some beautiful, some frightening, some confusing. Suffering occurs when you leap out of your seat, run up to the screen, and try to wrestle with the projected image, trying to stop the villain, cling to the hero, or erase a sad scene. You become entangled in the illusion, forgetting it is just light and shadow. Peace is found when you remember your true seat in the back of the theater, the seat of the aware, silent witness. You can watch the entire film, the thrillers, the dramas, the comedies, without being torn apart by them, because you know they are not you, they are simply passing phenomena on the screen of your awareness. The outside world is the projector. Your reaction is the leaping from the seat. Your peaceful awareness is the one who remains, watching, undisturbed. This is the core of the Buddhist concept of upekkha, or equanimity. It is not cold detachment. It is wise non-engagement with the toxic elements of a story. It is the profound understanding that while you cannot control the film being shown, you have absolute control over whether you remain calmly seated or spend your life in a frantic, exhausting struggle with shadows. There was a young monk, Ananda, whose meditation spot was near a window overlooking a busy, chaotic street. Horns blared, vendors shouted, music played. He was in agony, believing this noise was ruining his practice, destroying his peace. He begged to be moved. The abbot refused. Instead, he gave Ananda a small, beautiful, and empty ceramic bowl. "Your task," the abbot said, "is to keep this bowl empty and clean. Do not let anything into it." Ananda was confused but obeyed. He sat with the bowl, guarding it fiercely. When shouts came from the street, he would think, "I will not let that sound into my bowl." When a horn honked, he would tighten his grip around the bowl. He spent his days in tense vigilance. After a week, exhausted, he returned to the abbot. "I have failed. I hear the sounds. They enter my ears. I cannot keep them out." The abbot smiled. "Ah," he said. "You misunderstand. The bowl is not your ears. The bowl is your heart-mind. The sounds will come. They will touch the outer sense doors. But you, the gatekeeper, decide if they receive a welcome feast in the inner chamber of your heart. Do not try to be deaf. Practice being hospitable only to peace." Ananda returned to his spot. He stopped fighting the sounds. He heard them, acknowledged them, loud sound, and returned his focus to the empty, clean bowl of his silent mind. The street did not get quieter. His peace simply stopped fighting with it. The noise lost its power to mean something about his practice or his worth. It became just sound. This is your morning practice. Before you engage with the world, sit within your diamond tower. Feel its clarity and strength around you. Affirm quietly, nothing outside this moment, outside this awareness, has permission to disturb the peace at my center. You are not building a wall of ignorance. You are cultivating a space of conscious choice. I knew a woman named Clara, a project manager in a high-stress firm. Her trigger was a particular colleague who sent terse, all-caps emails that felt like attacks. Every time one arrived, her day would derail, heart racing, angry ruminations, reactive replies she later regretted. She saw a therapist who, familiar with Buddhist psychology, gave her a strange assignment. Before you open any email from him, I want you to put on a specific, silly hat you keep at your desk. Clara bought a floppy garden hat with fake flowers. The rule was firm. Hat on, then open email. The ritual created a crucial pause. In that moment of placing the absurd hat on her head, she would often laugh at herself. The laughter disrupted the automatic chain, see email-feel threatened-react. With the hat on, she became the observer of Clara about to read a tense email, not the victim of it. She created her own diamond tower around the event. The emails didn't change, but her permission for them to storm her inner halls was revoked. She began to respond with detached clarity, and eventually, the colleague's tone shifted in response to her unshakable calm. Your daily life is full of such emails, metaphorical and literal. The morning affirmation is your silly hat ritual. It is the conscious placement of a boundary before the world engages. It says, I will see this. I may even engage with this. But I will not let it define the climate of my soul. In a village, there was a famous mirror, said to be the clearest in the land. It reflected everything with perfect accuracy. A bitter windstorm blew through one day, howling and raging against the mirror, trying to distort the reflection with its force. The mirror did not fight the wind. It did not try to reflect the wind away. It simply continued to clearly reflect whatever was placed before it, a branch, a bird, the sky. The wind, frustrated, finally asked, "Why do you not tremble? Why do you not cloud over? My power has shattered windows and bent trees." The mirror replied, "My nature is to reflect, not to resist. You are not my object, so I do not hold your image. You are merely the condition of the air around me. To resist you would be to mistake myself for a wall. I am a mirror. My clarity is mine to maintain. The outside world is that wind. Your mind can be a reactive wall, constantly battered, or it can be a mirror, maintaining its inherent clarity by knowing what to reflect and what to simply let pass by. To cultivate this, try a brief morning visualization. After affirming your sovereignty, close your eyes and envision a sphere of soft, golden light surrounding your body, extending about an arm's length in all directions. This is your diamond tower, your mirror space. See it as permeable to information but impermeable to disturbance. Throughout your day, when you feel attacked or pressured, recall this sphere. Feel its presence. Breathe into it. You are in here. The disturbance is out there. You hold the key. We have fortified the inner sanctuary. Now, let us ask, how do we inhabit this moment, the only place where this sanctuary truly exists? Shall we continue to the next truth? We have spoken of the inner treasure, and the fortress that guards it. But a fortress can feel like a prison if we do not know how to live fully within its walls. The walls themselves are not the point. The point is the life that unfolds in the protected space. And that life, that authentic experience, can only ever happen in one place, right here, right now. This brings us to the heart of all Buddhist practice, the ground from which everything else grows. In the relentless flow of time, the human mind has a fascinating dysfunction. It rarely inhabits the present. It is a time traveler, and an unhappy one at that. It constantly journeys back to the edited museum of the past, rehearsing regrets and polishing trophies. Or it rockets forward into the imagined future, a landscape of hope and fear built entirely from speculation. In doing so, it misses the only thing that is real, the vivid, immediate, and alive reality of the present moment. The Buddha taught that this forgetfulness is the very root of our unease. We are starving at a banquet because we are either remembering last night's meal or worrying about tomorrow's menu, while the nourishing food sits right before us. This present moment is not a trivial tick of the clock. In Buddhist philosophy, it is known as the Dharmadhatu, the realm of reality, the only sphere where truth can be directly perceived. The past is a memory trace, a ghost. The future is a fantasy, a phantom. But the feel of your breath flowing in and out, the weight of your body on the chair, the play of light behind your eyelids, this is incontrovertibly real. To say, "I am here," is not a statement of location, but of presence. It is the conscious planting of your flag in the only territory you can ever truly claim. I will create a new metaphor for you. Imagine your awareness is a magnificent, ancient lighthouse. The beam of its light sweeps in a slow, relentless arc. The past is the dark shoreline the beam has already passed over, illuminated for a time, but now left in shadow again. The future is the dark shoreline the beam has not yet reached, still shrouded. Suffering is like being a sailor obsessed with the rocky coast that was illuminated 5 minutes ago, or terrified of the cliffs the light will reveal in 5 minutes, while your ship drifts, unattended, in the current patch of dark, dangerous water. Peace is found by bringing your full attention to the exact circle of water illuminated right now by the sweeping beam. That circle is all you can navigate by. That circle is enough. I am here means you are steering your ship by the light that is available now, not cursing the darkness behind or ahead. When you affirm, "This moment is enough," you are performing a radical act of renunciation. You are renouncing the belief that happiness lies in a different time. You are declaring sufficiency in the raw materials of immediate experience. This is the heart of contentment, or santuthi in the Buddhist teachings. It does not mean you don't plan or remember. It means you do not live there. Your home address is the present. The practice was silent walking meditation on a vast, flat plain under a colossal sky. The instruction was simple: walk slowly. Feel each foot touch the earth. See what is before you. My mind, however, was a raging argument about a personal conflict back home. I was walking, but I was millions of miles away, locked in a mental courtroom. I saw nothing but my own drama. An elderly teacher, walking beside me for a while, suddenly bent down, picked up a small, burnt black stone, and placed it in my hand. He closed my fingers around it and said, "Tell me everything about this." Annoyed, I looked at it. It was just a stone. But under his gaze, I began to notice. It was lighter than it looked. Its surface was not smooth, but pocked with tiny vesicles, bubbles from an ancient fire. One side was glossy, like obsidian. It was warm from the sun. It fit perfectly in the hollow of my palm. As I described these things, my internal argument faded. For 2 or 3 minutes, the universe shrank to me and that stone. And in that tiny universe, there was a profound, shocking peace. That, he whispered, is enough. The whole world is in that stone when you are fully with it. Your problems are in the other world you are inventing. He had used the stone as an anchor to drag my lighthouse beam back to the present circle of illumination. Your morning practice is to find your stone. Upon waking, do not jump into the river of thought. Lie still. Find one anchor in the sensory world, the texture of the blanket, the temperature of the air on your face, the sound of your own heartbeat in your ears. Pour your entire attention into that one sensation. For those few breaths, let that be your entire universe. Whisper, "I am here. This is real. This is enough." You are training the mind to come home. There was a renowned clockmaker who could build the most intricate timepieces. He lived in a house filled with the sounds of ticking, chiming, and whirring. He became obsessed with measuring time perfectly, yet he himself was always anxious, rushed, and felt he never had enough time. A friend, seeing his suffering, gifted him a simple hourglass filled with fine, white sand. For 1 hour each day, the friend said, "Turn this over and do nothing but watch the sand fall." The clockmaker laughed but humored him. The first few times, he was frantic, watching the sand, then his watches, calculating the inaccuracy of the hourglass. But slowly, something shifted. The silent, graceful, irreversible flow of sand in the simple glass began to hypnotize him. There was no ticking, only flowing. No measurement, only process. In that hour, he wasn't saving time or managing time. He was being with time itself, in its purest, most present form. He realized he had spent his life building cages for moments, instead of ever sitting inside one. The hourglass didn't give him more time, it gave him the experience of time's essence, which is always now. Your breath is that hourglass. Each cycle is a grain of sand falling. To be with it is to be with the substance of life itself. This practice has immediate practical power. When anxiety about a future event arises, feel your feet on the floor right now. Are you safe right now? Is your heart beating right now? The future event is not happening. Only the fear of it is happening, and that fear is a present moment experience you can meet with breath and awareness. You dismantle the anxiety by refusing to time travel. Let's integrate this with another personal anecdote. I once suffered a period of intense insomnia. Night after night, I would lie awake, my mind a projector of worst-case scenarios for the coming day. The more I tried to force sleep, the more awake I became. A doctor suggested medication. Instead, I remembered a teaching from a forest monk: if you cannot sleep, do not try to be asleep. Try to be awake more perfectly than anyone ever has. That night, when the panic began, I gave up. I said, fine. I am awake. I turned my attention fully to the experience of lying in bed awake. I felt the coolness of the sheets. I listened to the intricate, layered silence of the night. The hum of the refrigerator, the settling of the house, the faint rustle of leaves. I watched the play of shadows on the ceiling from a distant streetlight. I became a connoisseur of the present moment experience of insomnia. And somewhere in that total surrender to what is, without wishing it were different, the struggle ceased. The projector of worry faded. And I fell asleep not by chasing it, but by fully inhabiting the wakefulness that was already there. I learned that, this moment is enough, even applies to the moments we label as problems. To weave this into your day, set random, present moment alarms. When one goes off, wherever you are, stop. Take one breath. Look around and name 3 things you see, 2 things you hear, 1 thing you feel on your skin. This 30-second ritual is a mini rebellion against the autopilot of time travel. It is a sip from the well of now. We have learned to dwell in the sanctuary of the present. But how do we tend to the gardener who lives there? How do we speak to ourselves within these quiet walls? This leads us to a practice that softens the very fabric of our inner world. Shall we continue? We have found our inner treasure, built a fortress of sovereignty around it, and learned to dwell fully in the present moment's sanctuary. But a sanctuary can feel cold if the voice echoing within it is harsh and critical. The next truth addresses the very quality of that inner atmosphere. It is about transforming the relationship you have with the one person you are guaranteed to spend your entire life with, yourself. From the moment our awareness sparks each morning, an internal commentary begins. For so many, this commentary is a harsh tribunal, reviewing yesterday's failures, anticipating today's potential shortcomings, critiquing the body that carries us, doubting the mind that guides us. We speak to ourselves in a tone we would never dare use with a struggling friend, a tone we would find cruel if overheard in the street. In Buddhism, This inner critic is seen not as a useful motivator, but as a form of inner violence, a perpetuation of the very suffering, or dukkha, the path seeks to end. The Buddha's teachings on metta, loving-kindness, and karuna, compassion, are always presented as universal, but their first and most crucial application is inward. How can you genuinely wish for the happiness of all beings if you exclude the being reading these words in your own mind? Self-compassion is not self-indulgence or weakness. It is the foundation of emotional resilience. It is the wise understanding that a plant cannot grow strong if you constantly beat its tender shoots with a stick. Judgment may create compliance, but it strangles growth. Kindness creates the safe, fertile soil where genuine transformation can root. I will offer you a new metaphor. Imagine your mind is a vast, clear mountain lake. Each harsh, judgmental thought is like dropping a heavy, sharp stone into the lake. Plunk. I'm so lazy. Plunk. I'll never get this right. Each stone creates violent ripples that disturb the entire surface, muddy the depths, and scar the soft bed below. Now, imagine a kind thought instead. It is not a stone. It is like gently placing a broad, flat lily pad on the surface. This is hard, and I'm doing my best. The lily pad does not fight the water, it rests on it. It provides a surface for light to catch, for a frog to rest. It calms the water beneath it. Over time, a lake dotted with lily pads becomes a place of stillness, beauty, and life. Your practice is to become a planter of lily pads, not a thrower of stones, upon the lake of your own consciousness. This shift from internal judge to internal ally is revolutionary. The critic believes it is protecting you by punishing you for mistakes, trying to shame you into being better. But Buddhism teaches that awareness, not shame, is the agent of change. You cannot shame yourself into peace. You can only awaken into it. When you make a mistake, the compassionate question is not, how could you be so stupid, but, what is the learning here? What does this pain point to that needs care? Early in my teaching, I was asked to give a public talk on a complex Buddhist text. I prepared meticulously, but in the moment, my mind went blank. I stammered, contradicted myself, and sat down humiliated. The inner storm that followed was brutal. The stones were falling fast, fraud. Embarrassment. You failed everyone. I hid in my room for 2 days. On the third morning, my own teacher, without mentioning the talk, asked me to help him repot a delicate, prized orchid that had become root-bound. My hands were shaking with residual shame. As I worked, I snapped a crucial, healthy root. I froze, expecting his anger. He simply looked at the broken root, then at my horrified face. He said softly, "The plant is not angry at the root. The root is not angry at your hand. Your hand was afraid, and fear makes a clumsy gardener. The plant only knows. A part is broken. Now, we must make the soil around the remaining roots even more nurturing, so it may grow new ones." In that moment, I saw my own mind as that orchid. My mistake was a broken root. Berating myself was like pouring salt on the wound. The only sane response was to provide the nurturing soil of kindness so new understanding could grow. My shame didn't fix the talk, it only prevented me from learning from it. Your morning practice is to set the tone of the inner dialogue. Upon waking, before the critic can hold its first session, place a hand gently on your heart. Feel the warmth, the steady rhythm of life. Speak to yourself as you would to a beloved child who has just woken, "Good morning. However today goes, I will be kind to you. I will treat you with patience." This is not permission to be unambitious. It is the creation of a psychological safety net that actually allows for greater risk-taking and growth, because failure ceases to be a catastrophe and becomes merely feedback. In a village, there were two sculptors working on statues of the Buddha. The first sculptor was a perfectionist. With every strike of his chisel, he muttered criticisms: "This line is wrong. This curve is off. This stone is flawed." His statue, though technically precise, felt cold and rigid, its eyes holding a hint of sorrow. The second sculptor worked differently. Before each strike, he would hum softly. If his chisel slipped, he would pause, observe the new shape in the stone, and say, "Ah, the stone wants to go this way. Let us see what emerges." His statue, while perhaps less technically perfect, seemed to glow with a serene, living warmth. People who saw it felt a sense of peace. The first sculptor, frustrated, asked the second for his secret. The second sculptor replied, "I am not carving a Buddha out there. I am discovering the Buddha in here," he said, tapping his own heart. And you cannot discover a Buddha with a chisel of judgment. You need a chisel of reverence. When we treat ourselves with kindness, we are not ignoring our flaws. We are using the tool of reverence to discover the wholeness, the Buddha nature, that exists beneath the rough stone of our conditioned habits and mistakes. This practice extends beyond morning affirmations. It requires moment-to-moment noticing. Throughout your day, when you hear the critic's voice, "That was dumb, you look tired, they don't like you," practice the pause and rephrase technique. Pause for one breath. Then, consciously rephrase the judgment as a kind observation. Turn "that was dumb" into "that didn't go as I hoped. What can I learn?" Turn "you look tired" into "my body is asking for rest. I honor its signal." You are not lying to yourself. You are translating the crude language of fear into the nuanced language of care. A successful CEO I advised was renowned for his drive but plagued by burnout and loneliness. His inner critic was a relentless drill sergeant. He believed this voice was the source of his success. I asked him to try a one-week experiment, to dedicate the same 5 minutes he spent reviewing financial reports each morning to a kindness audit. Instead of numbers, he would review his self-talk from the previous day and consciously rewrite any harsh statements with compassionate ones. He was skeptical but agreed. On day 3, he reported a strange thing. During a tense board meeting, when a project was criticized, he felt his usual defensive anger rise, but then, a new internal voice gently intervened. "They're not attacking you. They're worried about the company you love." The shift was subtle but profound. He responded with collaborative curiosity instead of defensiveness, leading to a better solution. He realized his judgmental inner voice wasn't making him sharper, it was making him brittle and isolated. The kind voice made him more agile, connected, and ultimately, more effective. His fortress of achievement had been a cold, lonely tower. Kindness built a warm, well-lit home inside it. To deepen this, you might end your day with a brief, forgiveness breath. As you lie in bed, recall one moment from the day where you judged yourself harshly. Visualize that moment as a small, dark knot in your chest. As you inhale, imagine drawing in forgiveness and light. As you exhale, direct that breath to the knot, softening it, untangling it. No analysis, just the gentle breath of kindness. We have learned to speak to ourselves with a kinder voice. Now, with this foundation of inner safety and presence, we are ready for the final, expansive step, turning our gaze outward, not with need, but with generosity. How does the peace we cultivate within become a gift to the world around us? Shall we continue? We have cultivated an inner landscape of wholeness, sovereignty, presence, and kindness. This is a profound achievement, but in the worldview of Buddhism, it is not the final destination. A lamp kept hidden under a basket lights only itself, and eventually, it may suffocate. The purpose of lighting the inner lamp is to see clearly, and then, to share that light. The final principle is the natural, graceful flowering of all the others. It is where personal peace becomes a social art, a conscious offering to the tapestry of life. Buddhist practice moves on a path from personal liberation, vimutti, to universal compassion, karuna. The ultimate aspiration of a bodhisattva is to attain enlightenment not for solitary bliss, but for the benefit of all sentient beings. This lofty ideal finds its most practical, daily application in this simple morning intention, to be a source of peace, not a source of conflict, in the world. It is a shift from being a passive consumer of your environment's mood to being an active contributor of calm. You are deciding that your presence in the supermarket line, in the work meeting, in your family's kitchen, will have a net positive effect on the collective field of energy. Consider this: every interaction is an energy exchange. You are constantly broadcasting a frequency. Through your body language, the tone of your voice, the quality of your silence, the thoughts you harbor about others. Most people broadcast on autopilot, transmitting the static of their own unresolved stress, their hurriedness, their irritation. To decide, "I will be the cause of peace," is to take manual control of your broadcast. You choose the frequency, 108 FM, peace. You become a conscious emitter of calm, clarity, and kindness. And just as a calm person in a frantic room can, through mere presence, lower the collective heart rate, your intentional peace has a subtle, powerful ripple effect. You may never see the full extent of those ripples, but the Buddha taught that wholesome intention creates wholesome karma that reverberates through the web of life. I will create a new metaphor for you. Imagine your sphere of influence as a still pond. You stand at the center. Each action, word, or even thought is like dropping a pebble into that pond. A pebble of impatience, hurry up, creates sharp, jarring ripples of tension. A pebble of gratitude, thank you for your help, creates smooth, expanding ripples of appreciation. A pebble of mindful presence, listening fully, creates deep, gentle ripples of understanding. The pond is always reflecting and transmitting your pebbles to every shore it touches. To the person you're with, to the next person they meet, to your own future self. When you set the intention to be a cause of peace, you are carefully choosing only the smoothest, most harmonious pebbles to drop. You become a curator of ripples. This is not about being a placid doormat. True peace is dynamic. Sometimes, the most peaceful action is a firm, compassionate boundary, spoken clearly without heat. Sometimes, it is the courage to name an injustice, but from a place of centered clarity rather than reactive hatred. As the Buddhist teacher Thich Nhat Hanh said, Sometimes your joy is the source of your smile, but sometimes your smile can be the source of your joy. Similarly, sometimes your peace is the source of your calm actions, and sometimes your calm actions become the source of peace for others and, in a feedback loop, for yourself. I was on a sweltering, delayed subway car. The air was thick with shared frustration. A child was crying, a man was arguing loudly on his phone, the collective mood was sour. I felt my own irritation rising, adding my own mental pebble to the turbulent pond. Then, I noticed an elderly woman sitting calmly across from me. She caught my eye and gave a small, knowing smile, as if to say, "Yes, it is quite something, isn't it?" Then, she did something simple. She opened her bag, took out a small Satsuma orange, and began to slowly, meticulously peel it. The scent of citrus burst into the stale air. She separated the segments and offered one to the tired mother with the crying child. Then another to the man who had just ended his angry call. No words were exchanged, just the offering. The atmosphere in that corner of the car shifted palpably. The child quieted, mesmerized by the orange. The man nodded a silent thanks. For the rest of the delay, a pocket of quiet calm existed around her. She had not changed the situation. She had changed the quality of our experience within it by performing a small, sensory, generous act with total presence. She dropped a pebble of fragrant, shared humanity into our pond. Your morning practice is to consciously select your first pebble. Before you interact with anyone, sit for a moment and hold this intention: let me be the cause of peace. Visualize your day. See yourself in your various roles. See yourself choosing the pebble of a patient breath before answering an email, the pebble of a genuine compliment to a coworker, the pebble of fully listening to a family member without mentally preparing your rebuttal. You are programming your subconscious to seek opportunities for peaceful causation. In a war-torn kingdom, two generals faced each other across a river. General Fury's strategy was to attack louder, burn brighter, and spread more terror. General Still's strategy was different. Each night, under cover of darkness, he would send a few of his soldiers not to spy, but to perform quiet acts of repair on the enemy's side of the river, mending a broken fence post, leaving a bundle of dry firewood at an empty hut, clearing a clogged irrigation ditch. At first, General Fury's troops were suspicious, then confused. They began to find the repairs, the gifts. A rumor spread: perhaps the enemy is not purely evil. Perhaps they understand hardship too. Morale and certainty in General Fury's cause began to erode, not from attack, but from the unsettling, disarming power of unexplained kindness. Finally, the soldiers refused to fight. They said, "We cannot kill those who mend our fences." The war ended not with a battle, but with a bewildered peace. General Still explained, "I did not fight the chaos. I simply seeded small, undeniable points of order and care within it. Chaos cannot sustain itself in the presence of conscious, persistent peace. Your daily life has its small battlefields, tense meetings, family disagreements, internal conflicts. You can choose to fight chaos with more chaos, anger, blame, gossip. Or you can seed peace through small, unexpected acts of order and care, taking a breath, speaking truth gently, doing a needed chore without being asked. This practice turns mindfulness into engagement. It answers the question, mindful for what purpose? The purpose is to alleviate suffering, starting in your immediate vicinity. I was once mediating a bitter dispute between two business partners. Each session was a torrent of accusations. Progress was zero. Before the third session, I asked each man to do one thing, on their way to the meeting, to buy 2 cups of the other's favorite coffee. They were baffled but agreed. When they arrived, they awkwardly handed each other the cups. The simple, physical act of holding a warm drink they knew the other liked created a minute but crucial shift. It was a pebble of shared, mundane humanity. It didn't solve the legal issues, but it momentarily pierced the demonized caricatures they had of each other. The conversation that followed was the first to move from "you always" to "I feel." A small, intentional act of peace, the offered coffee, changed the container, allowing difficult truths to eventually be heard. Peace is often about changing the container before trying to change the content. To embody this, practice stealth metta throughout your day. As you walk down the street, silently wish well-being to the people you pass. May you be happy. May you be safe. You don't need to believe it fully or make it sentimental. Just do it as a mental exercise. This trains your mind to habitually frame others as subjects of care, not objects in your way. It turns strangers into fellow travelers, making it easier to respond with peace when your paths actually intersect. We have now completed the circle of the 5 truths. We have moved from the inner world of wholeness to the outer expression of peace. But wisdom is not a checklist, it is a tapestry. In our next part, we will begin to weave these threads together, exploring how they interact, support, and strengthen one another in the beautiful, messy reality of a human day. We have walked through 5 profound doorways. But wisdom is not a series of separate rooms, it is a single, interconnected mansion. To live these truths is to understand how they breathe together, how one supports the other in a graceful dance. In this part, we will begin to weave the tapestry, seeing how these principles form a complete ecosystem for a peaceful mind and a purposeful life. Imagine a magnificent, ancient tree. This tree is your life of awakened awareness. Let us see how each truth forms an essential part of its being. The roots, everything I need is already within me. Deep in the dark, rich soil, unseen but vital, lies the root system. These roots are your inner wholeness, your Buddha nature. They do not seek nourishment from the surface, they draw from the timeless groundwater of inherent wisdom and compassion. They are your stability, your connection to something deeper than daily circumstances. When storms come, it is the depth and spread of these roots that determine if the tree will stand or fall. Your morning remembrance of inner completeness is you tending to these roots, ensuring they are healthy and deep. The trunk. Nothing outside me can disturb my peace unless I allow it. Rising from the roots is the massive, sturdy trunk. This is your practice of sovereignty, of non-reactive awareness. The trunk does not chase the sun or flee from the wind. It stands. Its job is to be strong, flexible, and unwavering, channeling nourishment from the roots to the branches. It is your diamond tower, your clear mirror. The bark protects the inner life from pests and disease. The pests being the corrosive thoughts of blame and victimhood. Each time you pause between stimulus and response, you are adding a ring of strength to this trunk. The branches and leaves, I am here. I am alive. This moment is enough. The branches reach out into the world, and the leaves flutter in the present moment. They are the tree's interface with the here and now. They photosynthesize sunlight, the direct experience of now, into the energy that feeds the entire organism. A tree with no leaves cannot live, no matter how strong its roots and trunk. A mind that does not inhabit the present is cut off from the vital nourishment of immediate reality. Your practice of presence is like the gentle rustling of leaves, engaged with the breeze of each moment, neither clinging to the last gust nor anxious for the next. The sap, I will treat myself with kindness, not judgment. Flowing through the roots, trunk, branches, and leaves is the sap. The vital fluid of self-compassion. If the sap flow is blocked by the frost of self-criticism or the gum of resentment, the tree sickens. Kindness is the lubricant of growth, the healing agent that seals wounds. It allows the nutrients of experience to flow to where they are needed. A harsh inner voice is like introducing a toxin into the sap. It weakens the entire system from the inside out. Your gentle inner dialogue ensures the sap flows clear and sweet. The flowers and fruit. Let me be the cause of peace today. Finally, in their season, the tree flowers and bears fruit. This is the natural, beautiful expression of the tree's inner health. The fruit is not for the tree itself, it is an offering to the world, food for birds, seeds for new forests. Your intentional peace, your kind actions, your calm presence are this fruit. They are the purpose of the inner work. The tree does not strain to produce fruit. When the roots, trunk, leaves, and sap are healthy, fruit arises naturally. Similarly, when you tend to your inner world, benevolent action flows from you without effort as a natural expression of your wholeness. This interconnected view is the heart of the Buddhist concept of pratyaya samutpada, dependent origination. Everything arises in dependence upon multiple causes and conditions. Your outer peace is dependent on your inner kindness. Your ability to be present is dependent on your release from external disturbance. It is a holistic system. In a valley between two mountains, there were three neighbors. The first, Ilara, was a brilliant inventor, but she was perpetually anxious, convinced she lacked the final, secret component to make her greatest machine work. She spent her days frantically searching the outside world for it, forgetting her inner wholeness. The second, Bren, was a strong woodcutter, but he was easily enraged. If the weather was bad, he would rage at the sky. If a tool broke, he would curse the tool, letting the event ruin his day, allowing the outside to disturb his peace. The third, Kale, was a gentle herbalist who seemed to live in a different time. He moved slowly, spoke little, and his garden was the most vibrant in the valley. One harsh winter, a blizzard trapped them all. Ilara, in her panic, burned her last fuel trying to invent a way out, failing because her mind was scattered. Bren, in his fury at the storm, exhausted himself shouting and broke his door trying to force it against the wind. Kale, however, simply sat. He breathed. He accepted he was trapped, presence. He did not blame the storm, sovereignty. He spoke kindly to himself, "This is frightening, but we will be all right," kindness. He then remembered that in the autumn, he had stored nutritious roots and had a cellar of preserved herbs, inner resource. He had enough. Then, he acted. He used his knowledge to brew a strengthening tea. He calmly tunneled a path to each neighbor's home. To Ilara, shivering and defeated, he gave tea and said, "The component you seek is not outside. It is your own calm mind. Use it to see clearly." To Bren, who was injured and despairing, he tended the wound and said, "The storm is not your enemy. Your fight with it is." He shared his food, creating a small, warm community in the crisis, causing peace. When the spring thaw came, the three were forever changed. Ilara, having found her calm, invented a new irrigation system from her clear-minded observations. Bren, learning from Kale, became the valley's steady bridge builder, unfazed by difficult terrain. Kale's garden, always abundant, became a place where all gathered in peace. Each had needed to integrate the other's innate strength to survive. Ilara needed Kale's presence and Bren's strength. Bren needed Kale's peace and Ilara's ingenuity. Kale, though seemingly complete, found his compassion deepened and given form through his friends' eventual gifts to the community. Their separate struggles were symptoms of an imbalance in the tree of their being. Survival and flourishing came from the integration of all five aspects. Your daily life is that valley. The blizzards are the crises, big and small. The practice is to become like Kale, not by being perfect, but by knowing which part of your tree needs attention in any given moment. Is your anxiety a sign you've forgotten your roots, inner wholeness? Is your anger a sign your trunk, sovereignty, has grown brittle? Is your feeling of being overwhelmed a sign your leaves, present moment awareness, are not gathering the nourishing sunlight of now? Is your burnout a sign your sap, self-kindness, has grown sluggish? Is the conflict around you a sign you've forgotten to bear fruit, cause peace? Here is a practical weaving exercise for your morning. After you wake and settle, spend 1 minute with each truth, not as separate statements, but as layers of a single reality. First, tend to your roots. Feel your inherent worth. Silently affirm, "I am already whole." Hold this for about 10 seconds. Second, connect with your trunk. Feel your unshakable center. Whisper to yourself, "I choose what enters here." Hold this for another 10 seconds. Third, become aware of your branches and leaves. Arrive fully in the sensations of this moment. Simply say, "I am here." Rest in this presence for 10 seconds. Fourth, feel the flow of your sap. Send kindness through your entire system. Gently think, "I am worthy of my own care." Let this feeling linger for 10 seconds. Fifth and finally, set the intention of your fruit. Visualize your impact. Softly intend, "May my presence be a gift." Sit with this intention for a final 10 seconds. This 1-minute ritual weaves the 5 threads into a strong cord you can hold onto throughout your day. This 1-minute integration ritual weaves the 5 threads into a strong cord you can hold onto throughout your day. Theory is the map, but life is the territory. Now, with our tapestry woven, let us see how this cloth holds up against the weather of real human experience. Let's explore applying this integrated wisdom to 3 universal arenas of challenge: facing overwhelm, dealing with difficult people, and navigating personal failure. These are the sandpaper moments that test the polish of our peace. Overwhelm is the sensation of your inner pond being flooded by a tidal wave of demands, deadlines, and data. The mind becomes a crowded room where everyone is shouting. In this state, all 5 truths seem to vanish. You feel hollow, losing wholeness, victimized by your schedule, losing sovereignty, trapped in a terrifying future, losing the present, viciously self-critical for not keeping up, losing kindness, and become a source of stress to others, losing peace. The Buddhist lens sees overwhelm as a crisis of attention. Attention is fragmented into a dozen places, and a fragmented mind is a suffering mind. The solution is not to work faster, but to recollect your attention, to literally remember yourself. When overwhelm strikes, here is a practical, woven response using our 5 truths. First, pause and root yourself in wholeness. Stop. Literally cease all motion. Place your feet flat on the floor and your hands on your desk or lap. Say to yourself, in this pause, I am still complete. This chaos does not define my core. This connects you to the roots. Second, shield your center with sovereignty. Visualize the diamond tower around you. The demands are outside, pounding on the walls. Whisper to yourself, I alone grant entry. I will not let the quantity of tasks destroy the quality of my awareness. You strengthen the trunk. Third, anchor in a single sensation to reclaim presence. Find one anchor in the now. The feeling of your breath in your nostrils, the weight of your body in the chair, the sound of the heater. For 3 full breaths, pour all of your attention into that anchor. This is you stepping onto the solid ground of the present moment, gathering the leaves. Fourth, speak with compassion to yourself with kindness. Address the overwhelmed part of you directly, internally. You might say, this feels like too much. It's okay to feel flooded. We will handle one thing at a time. This is the sap of kindness, thawing the freeze of panic. Fifth, choose the first peaceful action to become a cause of peace. Ask yourself, what is the one next, smallest action that would bring a sense of order or relief? It might be closing all browser tabs, writing a single list, drinking a glass of water, or taking a 5-minute walk. Do that one thing with your full attention. This is bearing fruit, an action that creates a tiny island of peace in the inner chaos. By calming yourself, you automatically stop broadcasting stress, becoming a cause of peace for your own nervous system first. A young executive, Maya, was preparing for the biggest presentation of her career while also planning her father's birthday, dealing with a sick pet, and managing a team conflict. She sat at her desk at 2 a.m., paralyzed, tears of frustration in her eyes. She remembered a version of this practice. She stopped. She put her head down and felt the cool wood of the desk on her forehead, presence. She said, I am more than this list, wholeness. She visualized a sphere of quiet around her, sovereignty. She then told herself, you are exhausted, not incapable, kindness. The one peaceful action she chose was not to work, but to make a cup of tea slowly, in silence. While drinking it, the single, clear next step, to draft just the opening slide, came to her. She did that, then slept. The next day, she approached the tasks not as a monolithic monster, but as a series of single, present-moment actions, and she succeeded with a calm that amazed her colleagues. The difficult person, the critic, the narcissist, the passive-aggressive colleague, the perpetually negative family member, is one of life's greatest Zen masters. They expertly press our buttons, revealing where our sovereignty is weak and our self-kindness is conditional. Our usual reaction is to see them as the source of our discomfort. Buddhism invites us to see them as the revealer of our attachments. When dealing with a difficult person, here is a woven response. First, root in your wholeness. Before engaging, remind yourself, my worth is not contingent on this person's opinion or behavior. I am intact. This prevents their barbs from finding a core wound to stick in. Second, fortify your sovereignty. As they speak, practice being the mirror, not the wall. Listen to their words as sounds, not as ultimate truths. Silently affirm, this is their weather. I have my own climate. Do not internally argue or prepare a defense that is granting them entry to your tower. Third, stay present with sensation. Instead of getting lost in the story of how awful they are, bring your attention to the physical sensations of the interaction. Notice the heat in your face, the tightness in your chest, the urge in your jaw. This grounds you in the reality of your response, not the drama of their provocation. Fourth, extend kindness to your reacting self. Internally, soothe the part of you that is reacting. You might say, this is hard. It's okay to feel angry or hurt. This feeling will pass. This prevents you from adding a layer of self-judgment, like asking, why do I let them get to me, on top of the original irritation. Fifth, choose a peace-causing response. Ask yourself, what response, in this moment, would de-escalate tension or uphold dignity without compromising my own? It may be a simple, neutral acknowledgement, I hear you. It may be a calm boundary, I'm not willing to have this conversation in this tone. It may be silence and a conscious breath. Your goal is not to change them, but to not let their behavior turn you into a version of them. You become a cause of peace by refusing to reflect their chaos. Leo had a neighbor, Mr. Hendricks, who complained incessantly about Leo's lawn, his trash cans, the sound of his children playing. Every encounter left Leo seething. He decided to apply this framework. The next time Mr. Hendricks marched over, Leo first felt his feet on the ground, presence, and recalled his own worth, wholeness. As the complaints flowed, Leo simply listened, imagining the words hitting his diamond shield and falling away, sovereignty. He noticed his own rising anger as a clenching in his gut and mentally patted his own arm, kindness. When Mr. Hendricks finished, Leo didn't defend or argue. He simply said, it sounds like you really value quiet and order on our street. I will keep that in mind. This unexpected, non-combative response completely disarmed Mr. Hendricks, who mumbled and walked away. Leo hadn't agreed to anything unreasonable, but he had drained the conflict of its fuel. Over time, this consistent, peaceful non-reactivity changed the dynamic. Mr. Hendricks' complaints became less frequent, and once, he even nodded a greeting. Failure, the missed goal, the spoken hurt, the significant mistake, can feel like a tear in the fabric of our self. The ego's job is to patch it hastily with blame, shame, or justification. The path of wisdom is to mend it with awareness and kindness, turning the tear into a place of new weaving, often stronger than before. Here is a woven response to navigate personal failure. First, anchor in deeper wholeness. Separate your core being from the event. You can say to yourself, I failed at a task. I am not a failure as a being. My wholeness includes the capacity to learn and grow. This is returning to the roots that are deeper than any single season's outcome. Second, claim sovereignty over the narrative. The outside world may have opinions about your failure, but your power lies in authoring the meaning. Instead of a story of condemnation, like, this proves I'm not good enough, choose a story of learning, such as, this reveals a blind spot I can now address. You guard the gate of your mind. Third, be present with the raw feelings. Don't flee into distraction or rumination. Sit with the uncomfortable feelings, shame, disappointment, regret, as pure bodily sensations for a few minutes. Let them be, without feeding them with more thoughts. This is the courageous work of the present moment. Fourth, apply the balm of kindness. This is crucial. Speak to yourself as you would to a devastated friend. You might say, oh, this hurts so much. I know you tried. Everyone stumbles. Let's be gentle with this tender place. This kindness is the sap that allows healing to begin. Fifth and finally, extract the peaceful lesson. Ask yourself, having gone through this, what is one small, kind, constructive action I can take that would bring peace to this situation or prevent future suffering? It might be an apology, a new study plan, or simply a commitment to self-care. This action, born of integrated understanding, is the fruit. It transforms the failure from a dead end into a detour on the path of growth. Sophia, a dedicated potter, spent months preparing for a prestigious gallery show. Her kiln malfunctioned on the final firing, warping and cracking every single piece. Her dream was literally in fragments. Her initial response was utter devastation. A total collapse of all 5 truths. She felt empty, victimized by the kiln, trapped in the horror, brutally self-blaming, and snapped at her partner. After a day of despair, she remembered her practice. She went to her studio, sat on the floor, and breathed presence. She said, I am still a potter. The clay still speaks to me, wholeness. She refused to spin stories about her ruined career, sovereignty. She wrapped a blanket around her shoulders and cried, telling herself it was okay to grieve, kindness. Then, she looked at the shards. An idea emerged. The peaceful action was not to clean up, but to spend the next day carefully grinding the shards into fine grog, a material used to strengthen new clay. She then used that grog, which contained the literal pieces of her failure, to create a new, stunning series of bowls. Their texture was unlike anything she'd made before. The gallery was even more impressed with this resilient new work. The failure, met with this woven response, became the catalyst for her most authentic art. Welcome to the final steps of our journey together at Monk's Temple. We have traveled far, from the depths of inner wholeness, to the fortress of sovereignty, to the sacred ground of the present, through the gentle waters of self-kindness, and out into the world as bearers of peace. We have woven these threads into a tapestry and seen how it holds against life's friction. Now, we arrive at the culmination, the art of integration. This is not about adding more, but about embodying what we have. It is about letting these truths seep from your conscious mind into your bones, your breath, your unthinking reactions. It is about designing a life where peace is not an occasional visitor, but a permanent resident. We will cover this in 3 final, expansive movements. Crafting a supportive life, the deep well of silence, and living as the temple. Let's begin with the architecture for the awakened heart, the art of crafting a supportive life. Buddhism is not an escape from the world, but a wiser way of inhabiting it. Your external environment, your routines, your spaces, your relationships, can either be a constant drain on your peace or a gentle support for it. We move from managing reactions to minimizing the need for drastic reaction by skillfully arranging the conditions of your life. First, consider the ritual container. Your day is a vessel. Without conscious design, it fills with the chaotic spill of other people's demands and digital noise. Begin by creating simple, non-negotiable rituals that anchor the 5 truths. A morning anchor of 5 to 10 minutes is your daily route-taking. Upon waking, before any device, take a moment of silence for presence, place a hand on your heart to affirm your wholeness, and set the day's intention to be a cause of peace. It is the gentle tuning of your instrument before the symphony. Build transitional pauses, tiny gateways between the major acts of your day, between work and home, between task-focused time and relationship time. This could be 3 conscious breaths at your car steering wheel, washing your hands with full attention, or stepping outside to look at the sky for 1 minute. These pauses are sovereignty in action. They are you reclaiming the gateway between activities, preventing the energy of one from violently bleeding into the next. Practice an evening release. The mind needs to digest the day. A 5-minute review, not of tasks, but of mental and emotional weather. Ask yourself, where did I feel peaceful today? Where did I lose my center? Without judgment, what can I learn? Follow this with a kindness practice, thanking your body and mind for their service. This closes the container, allowing for restorative sleep. Second, create a sanctuary of space. Your physical environment is an extension of your mind. Create at least one small, curated space that explicitly represents peace. It need not be an entire room. A corner with a comfortable chair, a simple plant, a single meaningful image or stone. This is your external, tangible diamond tower. Its mere presence is a visual mantra, reminding you of the inner sanctuary. Keep it uncluttered. Clutter in space creates clutter in the mind's periphery. Third, be mindful of the nutrition of input. The Buddha spoke of guarding the sense doors. In our age, this is profoundly practical. You are constantly fed a mental diet through news, social media, entertainment, and conversation. Conduct a compassionate audit. Which inputs leave you feeling anxious, agitated, or inadequate? Which leave you feeling inspired, connected, or calm? You need not cut off entirely, but consciously reduce the former and cultivate the latter. Choosing a podcast on philosophy over scrolling outrage feeds is an act of self-kindness and sovereignty. It is you choosing the pebbles you drop into your own pond. Fourth, tend to the garden of relationships. We move from being a passive participant in relationships to a conscious cultivator. Gently gravitate toward those whose presence feels mutually supportive, where you can practice causing peace and receive it. For more challenging relationships, apply the difficult person framework not as a crisis tool, but as a standard operating procedure. Set compassionate boundaries not as walls, but as clear garden fences that allow you to appreciate the other's flowers without being overrun by their weeds. Remember, causing peace sometimes means saying a clear no with a calm heart. A man named Elias, a former city planner, felt chronically frazzled. He applied these design principles. He designated his small balcony as his morning dock space. His ritual was to drink his tea there in silence for 10 minutes, feeling the air. Ritual. He unsubscribed from 2 toxic news feeds and instead listened to an audio poem each morning. Input. He identified a colleague with a similarly calm demeanor and proposed a weekly clarity walk, instead of a gossip-filled coffee break. Relationships. He created a pause plate, a small, beautiful ceramic dish by his front door. Upon arriving home, he would place his keys on it and take one deep breath, symbolically leaving work's energy outside. Transitional pause. Within months, his wife remarked he seemed like a different person, not because he had changed his core, but because he had finally built a home his core could live in comfortably. Now, let's explore the deep well of silence that exists beyond words. All our truths, our affirmations, our frameworks, are ultimately pointers. They are fingers pointing at the moon. Do not confuse the finger for the moon. The ultimate peace, the deepest wholeness, exists in the wordless silence behind and between your thoughts. Buddhism's most precious gift is the direct introduction to this silence through meditation, not as a task, but as the art of being. This is not about stopping thoughts. It is about changing your relationship to the space in which thoughts arise. Imagine your mind as a vast, clear sky. Thoughts are clouds, some dark, some light, some moving fast, some lingering. You are not the clouds. You are the sky. The sky holds the clouds without being damaged by them. The sky's fundamental nature is spacious, clear, and undisturbed. A guided immersion into the well. Let us practice this now, as part of our final integration. If you feel comfortable, close your eyes. Allow your body to be at rest. Let go of any need to follow words closely. Just let them wash over you like gentle sound. Bring your attention to the feeling of breathing. Not controlling the breath, just feeling it, the cool air entering, the warm air leaving. Each breath, a wave on the shore of your awareness. Now, broaden your attention from the breath to include the entire field of sensations in your body. The weight where your body touches the chair or floor. The temperature of the air on your skin. Any sounds that come and go. Simply be the aware space that notices all of this. And now, include your thoughts in this field of awareness. See if you can notice the next thought as it arises. See it like a bubble forming in a clear pond. Watch it float for a moment, and see it pop, or drift away. Don't follow the story of the thought. Just notice its coming and going. As you do this, you may sense a background, a stillness, a silence that is present underneath the sensations, underneath the sounds, underneath the coming and going of thoughts. This is not an empty silence. It is a vibrant, alive, peaceful presence. It is the sky behind the clouds, the pond behind the bubbles. This is your true home, the source of the wholeness we spoke of. Rest here, as this aware silence, for a few moments. There is nothing to do, nowhere to go. You are already here, already whole, already at peace. Gently, when you are ready, bring your awareness back to the feeling of the breath, back to the body in the room. And as you open your eyes, carry this felt sense of spacious silence with you. It is always here, this deep well. You can return to it with a single conscious breath, anytime. This silent awareness is the ultimate truth behind all 5 truths. I am here is this awareness. Nothing can disturb my peace is true because this awareness is inherently undisturbed. Kindness flows naturally from this spaciousness. Everything I need is this presence itself. Being a cause of peace is this silence radiating outward. Your body is its architecture. Your breath is its bell. Your conscious awareness is its abbot. Your daily life is its liturgy. To live as the temple means to let every action, no matter how mundane, become a sacred expression of these truths. Washing a dish becomes a practice in presence, feeling the warm water, seeing the gleam of the clean plate. Commuting becomes a practice in sovereignty, observing the rush around you while maintaining an inner oasis of calm. Eating a meal becomes a practice in gratitude and wholeness, acknowledging the earth, the sun, the labor that brought this food to nourish the temple of your body. Listening to a friend becomes an act of causing peace, offering the sacred space of your full, non-judgmental attention. Making a mistake becomes an invitation to perform a ritual of self-kindness within the temple walls. There is no separation between practice and life. The entire day becomes a continuous, gentle mindfulness practice. You are not a person trying to be peaceful. You are peace, momentarily manifesting as a person doing things. A seeker traveled across continents to find the legendary monk's temple, said to house the ultimate statue of the Buddha carved from a single piece of jade, whose gaze brought instant enlightenment. After years of hardship, he found the humble gate. An old monk welcomed him. "I have come to see the jade Buddha." The seeker exclaimed. The monk smiled. "Certainly. But first, you must help prepare it for viewing. Please, sweep the courtyard." The seeker, eager, swept meticulously. "Now, wash these bowls." He washed them until they shone. "Now, polish the floor of the shrine." He polished for hours. Finally, the old monk said, "Now, you may see the Buddha." He led the seeker to the innermost chamber, empty but for a large, flawless mirror on the wall. The seeker looked in the mirror and saw his own reflection, weary but radiant with the peace of sincere work. In that moment, he understood. The temple was the caring of the space. The jade Buddha was his own true nature, revealed not by finding a statue, but by the polishing of his own attention through simple, conscious acts. He had been living in the temple all along. He just hadn't recognized it. So it is with you. As we conclude, let us revisit the 5 truths, not as concepts, but as names for the facets of the jewel you already are. First, I am here. I am alive. This moment is enough. You are the timeless awareness experiencing the eternal now. Second, nothing outside me can disturb my peace unless I allow it. You are the sky, inherently undisturbed by passing weather. Third, I will treat myself with kindness, not judgment. You are the compassionate guardian of your own precious experience. Fourth, everything I need is already within me. You are the complete, vibrant ecosystem of consciousness. And fifth, let me be the cause of peace today. You are a conduit for the silence and love that is your source. Carry this knowing forward. When you forget, as all humans do, be gentle. Pause. Breathe. Feel your feet on the ground. You already know the way home. It is the path of a single, conscious breath returning you to the temple of this present moment. Thank you for walking this path with Monk's Temple. May the peace you have cultivated here grow, ripple outward, and illuminate your world. May you live, more and more, as the temple itself.